All right, if you can hear me and you can see me, type 1 million, type 1 million. Because we're going straight to this training, and it's going to be an amazing training tonight. Funny enough, Trailblazer, no one has given me a training to go and prepare, and it gave me a lot of homework. Like this training you gave me. You know, when he gave me this topic, how to overcome no-shows, I was like, what am I going to tell these people? Because, of course, over and over in our business, we have experienced no-shows in our business. And it is amazing to know that no one in this business, in the industry of network marketing, no one in the industry of marketing, no one in the industry of sales is immune to no-shows. Nobody. Nobody. So it is a topic that cuts across every industry as far as you invite people to see something. Okay, so it's a very interesting topic, and I myself, actually, I am the best student of what I am about to teach you. What I mean is, what I'm about to teach you is something I consider as what I am going to be learning myself. It taught me a lot. Learning this, preparing this training taught me a whole lot. I learned more than I am about to teach you guys. I am serious. I learned more than I am about to teach you about this. Okay, now so let's dive into the training. So tonight we are talking about overcoming no-shows. Overcoming. I want you to type on the chat box no-shows. Type on the chat box no-shows. Type on the chat box no-shows. Okay, so everyone can hear me, right? Some people are saying no sound, but I believe everyone can hear me now. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an amazing time this evening. Now, I've come to realize something, guys. In the business we are a part of, there are 3 foundations in MLM success, 3 basic foundations that will help you experience success in the industry of network marketing. 3 things. This is according to Eric Warren. The first thing is the mindset. The first thing is the mindset. The second most important thing that will help you in succeeding in network marketing is skills, while the third thing is strategy. Okay, so anything you are learning in this business is always centered around these 3 things. It's always centered around these 3 things. Anything you are reading, anything you are listening to, anything you are watching, any training you are attending is always centered around any of these 3 things or all of these 3 things. Are you following me? So let me ask you, if you are with me, the of no-shows invitation, which of the 3 foundations is it in? Which of these 3 foundations is it categorized under? Let me know those who are following me. Let me see it on the comment section, on the chat box. Which of this? In the skills. Beautiful, OBJ, I got that. OBJ said skills, Ijendu said skills, beautiful. It falls under the skills category. So what we're about to learn is an aspect of the 3 foundations in the skills category. Okay, so we all know, according to Eric Warren, that invitation is the gateway skill. All right, and in any business, especially in our business, invitation is the most important skill to master. Do you know why? Because anybody listening to the sound of my voice, anybody, even if you don't know how to present the opportunity, Even if you don't know how to close down a prospect, if you know how to invite and people are seeing the opportunity, either a tool or they're attending an event, you are sure to succeed in this business. Meaning, if you can master this skill above every other skill, you are sure of succeeding in this business. Is somebody following me tonight? Now, this is very pivotal. So what it means is that it is important to improve this particular skill. This is the skill that you need to improve on. A very important skill that needs you to improve on it. Now, someone said something, William Ward said something. He said, it is wise to direct your anger towards problems and not people. So when you are experiencing no-shows in your business, what you are supposed to be directing your anger at is not the prospect, because that's where some of you miss it. Some of you direct your anger towards the prospects. No, direct your anger towards the problem of no-show. Now, instead of focusing your energy on those problems, or on those excuses, the reason why you think you are having no-shows, all those excuses that exempt you from focusing on the answers, ladies and gentlemen, where your mind is supposed to be is on the answers and not the excuses. So direct your anger at the problems, not the people. Focus your energy on the answers and not the excuse. That is why I am excited that tonight you are joining for this meeting to focus on the problem, the answers, and not the excuses. I heard when Engineer Kelechi was talking about it. So many people, yes, go through no-shows, and maybe you tell yourself that I booked call, now people didn't show up, so what's the need of booking again? You understand? This is where you are focusing on the excuses. You are focusing on the people, not the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say this to people. Please pay attention. If your skill level, let's take these two graphs. The first line here represents your skill level. Let's say your skill level currently is at level 4. Your skill level is at level 4, and the problem of the prospect, the problem in the economy right now, let's imagine that previously the problem in the economy of the country was at level 1. Pay attention. The problem of the economy was level 1 problem. The country Nigeria is going through, let's say, for instance, last year or early this year, the country was experiencing level 1 problem. And your prospect, who is also going through level 1 problem, maybe his problem before was just he's struggling to build a house. That was his problem, level 1. And your skill level is at level 4. When your prospect comes, let me ask you, you have a level 4 skill, your prospect has a level 1 problem. This problem, is it above you, or is it a problem that is below you? Give me your response on the comment section. Is the problem below you or above you? The problem is below you. Amazing. That is it. The problem is below you. So it means that you can deal with the problem. You can tackle the problem because your skill level is above the problem. Pay attention. But then, here is the challenge. Here is the challenge, the second scenario. If you still have the same skill level, level 4 skill, and then all of a sudden, they now remove subsidy and they doubled the price of fuel. Your prospect, whose problem before was level 1, he was just trying to build a house, struggling to build his house. Now, the same person who is struggling to build a house is now struggling to fuel his car. The person is now struggling to even find food for his family to eat. He's thinking of how his issues, as they are compounding on him, and you are booking him, you are inviting him, you are telling him there is an opportunity, and his problem now is plenty. You are using the same skill that you had early this year, when the problem of the country was not as high as it is right now. Ladies and gentlemen, at a skill level 4 and a problem which has gotten to level 10. Ladies and gentlemen, is this problem above you or the problem is below you? What is it now? The problem is obviously above you. Ladies and gentlemen, what does that mean? It means that if your invitation skill in January this year is still the same as it is this year, if your skill level last year is still the same as it is this year, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to be getting bad results. In fact, if your no-show ratio was you book 20 and 15 people do not show up, I can promise you that your 20 might not even show up again. With the same skill level, your 20 might not show up. And in fact, let me tell you something. If your skill level is still the same, is the same as the problem level, your result will be fair. But currently, that fair result is consistent. Maybe half person will attend. half show. You know what is half show? Half show is that the person attended at the end of the presentation. That is, the person attended half. That's half show. Are you getting me? Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this question. Between the skill and the problem in the economy, which one can you affect? Between the skill and the prospects problem, which one do you have an impact on? Which one can you change? Which one can you alter? Ladies and gentlemen, there is only one thing you can alter. Thank you, Shukura Odedeji. You can affect your skill. You can improve your skill. You can work on your skill. So let us focus on what it is you can impact on what it is you can change, and that is your skill level. So ladies and gentlemen, what this means, of course, is that we can deal with this matter of the no-show wahala. Now, so what exactly is this no-show? What exactly is this no-show? What exactly are we talking about when we talk about the no-show? Now, one of the most frustrating moments for a connector is the no-show wahala. Oh my God, it is so frustrating. You will sometimes even borrow airtime. You will use your last card to book calls. You will use the money you're still looking for to book calls. And at the end of the day, after booking and they told you they are coming, you end up checking the attendance and you are not seeing your code. Sometimes it will be like to cry. Like if you cry, to cry, will just be hungry you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is important. This is very important. It's so frustrating. What happens in a no-show? This occurs when a confirmed prospect fails to show up for BOM. This is what we talk about when we say no-show. This is what we mean when we say no-show. Ladies and gentlemen, may I announce to you, when no-show happens, too many connectors mistakenly assume, please pay attention, mistakenly assume that a no-show prospect is just not interested in the opportunity. And so they move on to other prospects. This is where there is a problem. And I want to help us handle this and deal with this. This is very important. Pay attention. Just because your prospect is a no-show prospect doesn't mean that they are not interested in your opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this. I need to help us have a balanced understanding of this tonight. In fact, no-shows, pay attention, no-shows are a hidden tip to close the prospect better, to suck the treasure out of this no-show concept. Most of the time, when you hear of no-shows, you see the negative connotations that it gives in your mind. I am going to be helping us tonight to divulge this concept of no-shows so that you see the hidden treasure inside a no-show and help you handle it properly. Are we together? Are we together? So what are the reasons for no-show? Now, an organization called Marketing Profs conducted a study that ran over 2 years. They surveyed over 330 prospects who were no-show prospects, but who also agreed to reschedule the meeting. Now, pay attention. This organization, they were so curious to hear more about why the no-shows had happened. Since these prospects were still interested enough in the sales offer to reschedule the meeting, they wanted to know why they had not been able to show up for the initial appointment. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Pay attention. Now, at the end of this study, the result of the study came out. I need you to take a screenshot of what you are seeing on the screen right now, because this thing you're seeing right now is going to help your mental health in dealing with no-shows. This will help you a lot. This will help you a lot. And I'm going to be talking about this intensively tonight. Number one, the first result of the study showed that 56% of the prospects missed the appointment because they were overwhelmed by internal events. 10% of them got called into another meeting. That was the reason they did not show up. 6% of them had an emergency. 5.2% of them had a technical issue with the meeting invitation. 5.1% of them had unexpected travel. They traveled. 5% of them were sick. 3.9% of them had a previous meeting that ran too long. 3% of them had a weather issue that derailed their schedule. 2.4% of them were double booked. Are you following me? Are you following me? The other percent forgot about the meeting. Yeah. This other percent had a personal issue that caused them to miss the meeting. Are you following me tonight? This is important. This is very important. Now, if your people who are booking calls in your team are not in this meeting, then you are a very wicked and heartless upline and a very heartless leader, because you don't get these trainings every time. Very important. Now, let's now bear that in mind. I hope you took a screenshot of that. I hope you are taking a screenshot of that. Now, let's look at some of the principles you can make use of to overcome this no-show wahala. Okay, let's tackle these no-shows. Okay, I came here to give you the meat of the matter, to deal with the matter. Okay, now pay attention. The first principle I'm going to teach you is what I call the Grant Cardone principle. The Grant Cardone principle. Now, Grant Cardone is a crazy man. You know him, he's a crazy man. If you go online, you will see his crazy phone call systems. You will see how he's doing phone calls crazily. He's a crazy man. Okay? He's truly the 1% crazy in the whole world of sales. He is truly the 1% crazy. Now, the Grant Cardone principle. Now, the first thing Grant Cardone taught us is that we must understand the skill and fear ratio. What does this mean? Pay attention. I'm not here for English. I'm here for practical understanding. The same way I did an explanation for you of the skill level, he also mentioned that if your skill level is greater than your fear level, you are going to get results. Your fear of your prospects. The reason you are not making sufficient calls, the reason you are not making powerful calls is because your skill level is low. And as a result, your fear level is high. The reason you are able to make good, effective calls is because you have increased your skill level. So when your skill level is greater than your fear of the prospect, you will make a lot of calls. That's the truth. That is the truth. Now, because for you to experience no-shows, you must have made a call. For you to make a call, you must overcome your fear. For you to overcome fear, you must increase your skill. Do you see where it traces back to? Do you see where it traces you back to? Higher skill, lower fear. Lower fear, higher calls. Higher calls, lower no-shows. Did you get that? Did you get that? Very important. The same way too, if your skill level is low, your fear of your prospects will increase. And as a result, you end up with bad results. Is somebody getting it? Now, so understand the fear versus skill ratio. Understand that. So what does that mean? The key thing is for you to work on your skill. That is one thing the Grant Cardone principle teaches you, that you need to work on your skill. Work on your skill. Listen to one of our top mentors in the field of personal growth and motivation.
He said, if you work hard on your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. If you would have known me at age 25, you would have said, Jim Rohn's a hard worker. If you'd have known me, you'd have said that. I'm the guy, I don't mind coming a little bit early, staying a little bit late, I don't mind that. You say, well, how come he's got pennies in his pocket and nothing in the bank and behind on his promises? Well, I was a hard worker, but I was working hard on my job, not on myself. I'm telling you, if you'll learn that simple little principle and start the process today, latest tomorrow, I'll give you tonight to think it over. And start this whole process of personal development, work on yourself, make yourself more valuable to the marketplace. I'm telling you, you can so dynamically change your income, and economics is the least of the values that you can start earning in terms of equity. If you'll start working harder on yourself than you do.
You go what he said. He said you need to work hard. So improve your skill. Work on your skill. Very important. Now, like we said, so the higher the skill, the lower the fear level. The lower the fear level, the greater the calls you make. The greater the calls you make, the lower the no-show level. And of course, the better your results. The next thing is this. Don't you ever, when making an invitation call to increase your response rate, don't you ever qualify them before you call them. Some of you right now, there are some contact lists on your text that you have not called. You know the reason why? Because you saw in the name of the list, they told you that these people are pastors, or this person is a reverend, this person is a doctor, this person is a lawyer, this person is a professor, this person is a this one or that one. Oh yeah, let me get your response, your feedback on the chat box. Which person did you see on the Someone is saying last slide. This is the last slide. It's the same thing here. Which list or what made you, what was the scariest thing you experienced in a list that was given to you? That made you to hesitate to make a call? You saw honorable, professor, interesting, doctor, interesting. I'm seeing some responses on the chat box, funny ones. You saw a reverend, and they were high net worth individuals, interested. Now you see, the reason you were scared is because you qualified them before you called them. Bishops and governors, interesting. You even saw vice chancellor. Now, you were qualified them. Now, what does it mean to qualify? What does it mean to qualify a prospect? To qualify a prospect means that you are prejudging the prospect in your mind, saying, this person will not do the business. This person will not do the business, or this person is too successful, too rich, too educated, too whatever to join the business. You qualify the person, or you think the person cannot do the business. That is when you're qualifying a prospect. Ladies and gentlemen, don't qualify your prospect before you call them. It will increase call reluctance. It will increase your call reluctance. And when you have high call reluctance, you have plenty no-shows because your result is reduced. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Grant Cardone principle. The next principle that will help you is the tonality principle. This is important trainings to understand, important things to understand. What do we mean when we talk about your tonality? Your tonality here refers to how you portray yourself through your voice, how you communicate through your voice. The person you are booking, especially for a third-party recommendation call, the person you are booking does not know who you are, does not know who you are. The person associates who you are by the way you sound, by the way your voice conveys who you are. If you got me, type got it. If you got what I just said, type got it. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't know who you are. They will only associate who you are in their mind based on the way you portrayed yourself through your voice. Your tonality is key. If we are dealing with no-shows, right? We are dealing with no-shows. I need to teach you what will increase your results in invitation. Because, listen to me, you must understand this. The higher your confirmed bookings, the lesser your no-shows. That's the truth. That is the truth. That is the truth. The more professional you are in your calls, the less the no-shows you experience. And that is the truth. And that is the truth. So your tonality. So let's go to the tonality principle. When we talk about the tonality principle, like I said, this is how you convey yourself to your prospects by the way you sound. Very important principle. Now, the more authoritative you are, the better. This is because you are calling them to help them, not for them to help you. The person that taught me how to do booking calls, funny enough, was our mastermind, our G8 leader, Ambassador Dr. Elijah Mba. My first booking call, I learned it from Ambassador Dr. Elijah Mba. Yeah. And the first thing he taught, he said, when you are making a call, assume the posture, assume the mindset, assume the voice, assume the thinking that you are the MD and the CEO of a multi-million-dollar business organization. He said, if you are the CEO and MD of a multi-billion-dollar organization, how will you sound? That was what he said. Will you sound beggy? No, of course not. Imagine that Dangote is offering you an opportunity to become a business partner and have a stake in his business, and he is going to be sounding beggy. Honestly, he's going to be sounding beggy. Are you not aware that the person you are inviting, you are giving him an opportunity for him to have a stake in your organization, to have a stake in the profits you're going to be making, in the profits you're going to be making? Ladies and gentlemen, that is what you are giving people. Check your genealogy now. That is what is happening. Anybody who fixes himself in any of your genealogy has a stake in the money that you can make, has a stake in what goes on in your organization. And that is what you're about doing, ladies and gentlemen. Sound like the expert. Are you getting it? Sound like the expert. Someone, you're making a phone call, you're making an invitation call, and the person is asking you a question like, so what did you say? Oh, now, come on now. You're an expert, man. You are an expert. You are an expert. Type it on the chat box. I am an expert. I am the expert. I am the expert. Come on. That is who you are. The person is asking, he's interrupting your calls, he's doing this, no, now, you are the expert. You are the expert. Ladies and gentlemen, sound sharp. I'm going to be teaching us something when we will be entering the booking call principle, the invitation principle, right? I'm going to teach us something that will help you understand this. This is important. When you are reading your script, make sure you are reading it sharp. What do I mean? Don't allow them the opportunity to imagine what you are saying, because you are not being sharp enough for them to get what you are saying. Because when you are not sharp, they will imagine what you are saying. And I bet you, because they don't know who you are, they will imagine the wrong thing. So be sharp when you're sounding, when you're talking, sound sharp. I need to be fast now. Sound enthusiastic, meaning carry positive energy when you are talking. Talk with positive energy. Talk with positive energy, because I know what I'm offering you, because I know you will attend it. I know you will love what I'm calling you for. I know you will benefit from what I'm calling you for. So you will sound enthusiastic. So your voice should communicate positivity. Don't sound dull. Don't sound like like you are using fuel to make the call. Do you understand what I mean? It means that it is so expensive. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That is the tonality principle. Take a screenshot, and I'm moving forward now. Now, so these three things, these key things will help you to sound better. When you're sounding better, ladies and gentlemen, your calls becomes better. Are you getting it? Very important. So now let's go to the scientific principle. The scientific principle. Now let's look at this. This is where I'm going to be very real with you now. I'm going to be very real with you right now. I'm going to be very real with you right now. Now let's go to this. The scientific principle. Number one, understand the law of averages. Yes. Yes. Understand the law of averages. Jim Rohn said, if you do one thing for a prolonged period of time, a ratio will always appear. Some of you now, each person listening to the sound of my voice right now, because you have a particular skill level. Some of you, your skill level is at level 1. Some, it is at level 2. Your invitation skill level, some of you, is at level 5/10. Now, based on your current skill level, there are certain things, there are certain numbers you will always hit, which becomes consistent. So it's important you know your numbers. So if you do a booking call of 50 name lists, and then at the end of the day, 20 people responded, that is picked the call and responded. And out of the 20 people that positively responded, at the end of the event, only like 5 persons attended. 5 persons attended. Now, you've been doing this. Let's say you booked call throughout this week. You booked call throughout this week. You were consistent in your bookings and you were consistently checking the attendance. And you notice that for every 20 people that said they are going to be attending, at the end of the day, 5 people finally attended. Now, that means that your ratio is 50 people confirmed. 20 people, 50 people who reached out. You reached out to 50 people. 20 people confirmed, 5 people attended. You did the same thing. You did it. You notice that this is your current ratio. Ladies and gentlemen, now you know your numbers. And when you know your numbers, it is one of the most exciting things for you to discover in this business. When you know your numbers. You know why? Because the moment you know your numbers, you can beat anybody. You can beat anybody. Now, let's pay attention to one of my mentors. Pay attention.
Track your numbers. Tell yourself, my target is 10 on social media, 10 on Facebook, in this case, 10 on offline. Like, give yourself a target of the activity to do, not the results. Not the what? The results. Don't say, I'm going to present this number of people. It's going to depend on how many phone calls you did. So I want you to track the best activity. If I call the best what? Activity. The best activity is how many I prospected, how many I contacted, how many I did what. How many came is not your problem. Don't be stressed about that. That's why I've told you, be patient on results, but be impatient on what? On activity. Are we together? It's okay to wake up early. That's best. And trust me, it will work out. When David left lockdown, his business had come down. And he said, you know what, Mohoze, I'm going to be coming early every day. By 6:30, I will be at Budu house. And I'm going to wake up by reading. I don't know what magic happened. I think God is always watching. He has his secret angel is watching. Angel of success. Watch for me, whoever is being serious. Things just work in his favor. Today, David is making a lot of money. He has been able to have one of the most stable businesses. You cannot tell me someone who is back at home, who does not give it that short. Are we together? You can say, for example, I'm going to be reading 1 hour every day. That's you tracking your what? Your numbers. Are we together? Now, if your numbers are 0, you're not even in the game. Now, if your number is 1 person, that's not for dreamers. And let me tell you something. If it is 5 you are getting, there are double digits. Big checks are waiting for you. Double digits. The phone calls are double digits, 10 and above. Double digits prospecting calls. Double digits Facebook invites. Double digits. Oh, this one. Double what? Digits. So what you take time to measure, you can do what? Improve it. But show me the next one, Oscar. The harsh reality. Thousands of people in this business of network marketing keep themselves into believing they are really doing the business, when in actual reality they are doing nothing, or almost what? Nothing. This is what I'm talking about. Then they roam around complaining about that network marketing do not work for them. Yet in truth, they did nothing about their network marketing businesses. Now, I may ask you a question. Why are you not making the money you should be making network marketing? And the answer is very simple. Because you are missing the most important aspect of the business, the most important aspect of any businessman, which is you don't have the right numbers. Your numbers don't add up. The moment the number of customers getting into your business, seeing your products, they don't add up, you're in trouble. We are saying that a person who has 1 person, they are not even dreamers. I want to promise you that there are very few people in network marketing who in a month, they even speak to 30 people. Are we together? I want you to know that, I want you to caution yourself that one day when you didn't have guests, that there are times you can go 3 days, 4 days in a week and don't have guests. Are your numbers adding up really? And numbers cannot add up unless you are consistent, unless you are doing it every day, unless you are particular about how many people I prospect, how many people I talk to. Numbers cannot add up. Numbers can fail to add up in terms of how many hours you put in. Numbers can fail to add up in terms of how many hours you put in to read these books. Numbers can fail to add up when it comes to what time do you wake up. All together, how many productive working hours do you put in? Numbers can fail to add up. Are we together? Ask yourself, are my numbers adding up? The reason why all these successful people have a very, very crazy work ethic, it is because they are trying as much as possible to add up the numbers in terms of time commitment they put in.
Now, I'm sure you got that. Your numbers have to add up. Your numbers must add up. So know your numbers. So you got that. Know your numbers. Now, when you know your numbers, what you need to do is you need to now tailor your activities. Oh. You need to tailor your activities to align with the numbers. Very important, ladies and gentlemen. You need to hereby tailor your activities to align with your numbers. And this is key. This is key. Very important. He said something I love. He said, if your numbers are not double digits, if your numbers are not double digits, you are not a dreamer. If your daily consistent numbers are not double digits, if your daily consistent numbers are not double digits, you are not a dreamer. If you are complaining of no shows, I can promise you, number one, pay attention. Number one, you are not obeying the scientific principle of numbers. Anybody in your team who is complaining to you as a leader, as an upline, that he is having a lot of no-shows, check his consistent numbers. Just tell him, show me your consistent numbers for the past 10 days. Show me your consistent numbers for the past 10 days. People who I know that complain very well of no-shows, number one, are those people that they only wait for mega events to book. They don't consistently book. Ladies and gentlemen, the numbers don't lie. They have never lied and they never will lie. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. They don't lie at all. They don't lie. I tell you, they don't lie. So, it's either you dispute the scientific principle of numbers or you align your activities with this principle. The choice is yours. But I highly recommend you align yourself with these key principles. Now, the next principle to help you is the follow-up principle to help you deal with no-shows. This is very important too. I'm going to show you something. The follow-up principle. Follow this. Follow me carefully. Follow me carefully. I'll show you something very important. We have two types of follow-up that will help you get results. I'll show you two types of follow-up that will help you get results. The first one is the follow-up that happens by the relationship owner. Who is the relationship owner? Type it on the chat box. Who do you know as the relationship owner? Who is the relationship owner? Type it on the comment section. Who is the relationship owner? the invitee, the upline, the owner of the contact list. God bless you. The person who has the contact, that is the relationship owner. So if you are doing a third-party invitation call, you are calling a contact list for somebody. The person that owns the contact list is the relationship owner. Are you following me? That is the relationship owner. Now, there is a follow-up the person is meant to do if his prospect didn't attend. Now, you are going to be listening to what I will say, because this is the one and only ambassador, Dr. Tony Akabuno. So listen to what he said. This is what the relationship owner is supposed to do. When you find out that the people that were booked did not show up, so you had no show, give this script to the relationship owner, the owner of the contact list. This is what you will say. You call the person, Mr. John. Mr. John, how are you doing? How is everything? I hope you're good. He says, fine, everything is fine. After all the pleasantries. Then you say, this recommendation I made for you, were you by chance lucky to be invited? You tell you, yes, so they invited me, but so happened. This one happened, that one happened. The moment he said that something came up and he couldn't attend, you say, Kai, why would you do something like this? Kai, why would you do this? Do you know that you denied people that were desperate an opportunity they prayed for? Are you aware that out of over 1,000 persons that were recommended, only about 50 to 100 persons were invited at the end of the day, and you were among them? And you not showing up means that you denied over 900 persons that were not invited the opportunity. Kai. Well, I hope this won't count against you. Notwithstanding, I heard that they have another event that will be coming up, maybe let's say in the next 2 weeks or next week. I just got a hint that another event will be happening. But the thing is that I pray you have not been disqualified from attending. Now, if you are lucky to be called again this time around, my brother, try and be there, even if it's 1 hour before the time. Do you understand? The person tells you yes. This is what the relationship owner is expected to do to make it a profitable follow-up. You know why? Because once the relationship owner does something like this, now you may not say exactly the words I said here, but you understand the concept of the call. If you understood the concept that I just shared with you in the script here, type clear. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Now, the next follow-up strategy that is required is the third-party follow-up strategy. Once the relationship owner has done this, follow-up strategy, the person who booked him can now do a rescheduling. Of course, we have the script in our script book, right? We have those scripts on rescheduling. But the fact that the relationship owner was able to do this assurance booking makes it easier for the third party, the consultant who is making the call, to make the call. Are we together? Very important. Now, remember, when you are making the call, Mr. Consultant, when you are doing the rescheduling of the meeting, when you are rescheduling this prospect, remember that you are the one responsible for the meeting. It is not the prospect that is responsible, it is you. You are the one responsible for rescheduling the time for this meeting. Is somebody getting me this night? What it means is that you are the one that will determine the next meeting, not that person, not the prospect. How do I mean? So many of us, when you are rescheduling the person, you ask him something like, oh, so when do you think it will be convenient for you to now attend? No, don't do that. Don't do that. You are the one to give them the option, not them. So don't allow them the opportunity to choose for themselves when they will attend. You are the one to choose. You are the one to give them the options for them to choose. They are not the ones to choose when they want to attend. No. So you are responsible for the meeting. But pay attention to this. This one will also help your mental health. Pay attention. Bear this in mind. 50% of the people you will reschedule after the first invitation will never give you a positive response. Some of them will not pick your call again. Some of them will not return your calls after you call them. Some of them will not act anything positive. Do you know what you need to do? Focus on the 50% that will respond positively. Did you understand something? After they refuse to show up, 50% will not respond positive. Just bear that in mind. I'm not the person that gave these statistics. I'm not the one that created these statistics. Those of you who have read the book, Sell Like Crazy, Sell Like Crazy by Subri Sabi, Sabi Subri, yes, Sabi Subri. That his name is somehow. Sabi Subri, yes. He wrote the book, Sell Like Crazy, very big, voluminous book, but it dealt with a lot of things in sales. Sell Like Crazy, powerful book. Now, he's the one that gave these numbers. He's a crazy salesman. He's also one crazy trainer in sales. Sabi Subri, powerful guy. I recommend his YouTube channel for you to learn from him. Powerful guy. Now, so that is for the follow-up principle. So bear these things in mind. Bear these things in mind. Then the last principle I'm going to teach us is the invitation principle. Now, how many of you still remember the study that was done? There was a study I made reference to when I started. If you still remember the study I told you to take a screenshot of, type study. Type study, type study. Type study. If you still remember, I told you to take a screenshot of a study that was done by Marketing Prof. Okay, beautiful. So some people still remember I told you to take a screenshot of something. Now, you didn't snap it. Interesting. Well, that's unfortunate for you. Now, I'm going to be making reference to those studies now. And I'm going to be showing you how to tackle those reasons for no-show. A study was done to find out the reason why people who were booked for appointment, for a business appointment, for a sales appointment, didn't show up. They gave their response as to why they didn't show up, the reasons why they didn't show up. A voluminous study was done. Now let's pay attention to this. Pay attention in the invitation principle. Remember that invitation is a science as well as an art. When we say something is a science, it means that if Mr. A applies its principles, he will get the same result as Mr. B would if he applied the same principles. That means it is a science. The results are consistent. Whether you apply it on Mr. A or you apply it on Mr. B, you will still get the same results. The same also means the same way too. Pay attention. It is a science. I see it as a science, and I also see it as an art. An art in the sense that if you, let's say you make a painting, let's say you are an artist draws a particular thing. That thing will make sense to Mr. A, but might not make the same kind of sense to Mr. B. That's an art. Some of you, if you go and type on Google, the world costliest art paintings, if you see the type of thing people paint, what they painted, and they are selling it very expensive. Some of you, even if you carry your 1,000 naira, you cannot pay to buy that artwork. But someone else loves it, even paid millions of dollars to buy that same thing. But if they give it to you, you will never appreciate that artwork. You know why? Because art can be sweet to you, but not be sweet and get the same response from the other person. Do you understand? So invitation, what it means is that there are certain things that needs to be unique in the invitation process for someone else. Meaning the way you invited Mr. A and the way you invited Mr. B may not always give you the same result. That's what I mean by it is a science as well as an art. You can use the same script on Mr. A and you will get results. You will use the same script, you will get results. The same way too, you can use the same script on Mr. A, you won't get the same result as you get if you use it on Mr. B. So it is a science as well as an art. That's the way I see it. So what it means is that what I want to teach you is how you can use the same invitation and tailor it in a way that it can suit the science mind and suit the art mind. Let's proceed. So guide 1, based on the study we did, there was a study we read, and according to that study, 5.2% of people who did not show up for a presentation, who did not show up for a meeting, a sales meeting, they didn't show up because they had a technical issue with the meeting. Now, what does that mean? So, what this, of course, means is that make sure your booking call script is read clearly and understandably. Because if the reason the prospect didn't show up is because there was something that went wrong in the invitation process, there was a technical issue. Maybe when you were reading it out, he didn't hear you very well. Maybe network was not okay when you were making the call. Something happened. So how do you confirm that your prospect is not experiencing technical issue in the invitation process? Ask the prospect, are you getting me? Ask some interjections to make sure the person is following you. Oh, goodness me, I'm saving somebody's business tonight. I'm saving somebody's business tonight. If 5.2% did not show up because they had technical issue with the meeting invitation, that means that you need to be sure that language is not a barrier. Make sure that they are understanding what you are saying. Are we together tonight? A 5.2 didn't show up because they had technical issue with the meeting invitation. It means that you need to be sure that the reservation message you sent to them went through. Some people didn't get the reservation message that you sent. As a result, they couldn't locate the place. And maybe when they were trying to call you, your number was no longer reachable, or they didn't have airtime to call you back. Something technical went wrong. So you need to follow up. You need to follow up and be sure that what the message you sent actually went through. That is why you need to do your reminder call, like I said. So you need to do your reminder call, send a reminder message, resend it. What I normally teach my team is that early in the morning, very early in the morning, make sure that your reminder message that day of the event, early in the morning, let your message be the first thing they wake up to see. Let your reminder message be the first message they wake up in the morning to see. If you can wake up as early as 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m., send the reminder message before you do your reminder calls about 3 hours or 2 hours before the event. So send the reminder message early the morning of the event. Then do a reminder call to ensure that there was no technical issue with your invitation. Guide number 2, to deal with the reasons why people don't show up. Guide number 2. Remember, according to the studies, one of the reasons why people don't show up, which accounted to 10% of people who didn't show up, is because they said 10% of them got called into another meeting. 3.9% of them had a previous meeting that ran too long. And as a result of the length of that meeting, they couldn't make it for your own meeting. 2.4% of the people were double booked, meaning that they had a similar event or another event that clashed with your own event. Is somebody getting me? Is somebody getting me? Is somebody getting me? Oh, yeah, take a screenshot of the last slide. Take a screenshot. I'm done. Take a screenshot. Now, because of this reason, what you need to do to curtail this reason people don't show up is when you are giving them your invitation time, offer them a range of meeting times. Offer them a range of meeting times. That means give them option. That's what is this. Give them options to choose from. Because if they had another meeting that came up, because you gave them another option, they can now go for the second option. If they have another meeting, they can go for the second option that will make it clear enough for them to attend the one you are giving them, the more suitable option you have for them. All right, take a screenshot. Ladies and gentlemen, are we together? All right. Guide number 3. Remember that according to the study we saw, 5.1% of the people that did not attend, they didn't attend because they had an unexpected travel. Meaning some of them traveled. Yes, they didn't know. Something just came up and they had to travel. And they did. 5% were sick. 5% of them fell ill. Something happened all of a sudden. Maybe some women, they saw their period and it didn't allow them. The men, something happened. He had an attack. He had something. Something just came up that made him sick. Ladies and gentlemen, 3% had a weather issue that derailed their schedule. Do you know what that means? That means that for you to curtail that, you need to expect the unexpected. Is somebody getting me? That means that you should have allowance in your heart that it is possible for the unexpected to happen. It is possible that the people I will invite, for them not to show up because of some unexpected circumstances. Some unforeseen circumstances could happen. So you know what that means? What that means also is that do not be too emotionally attached to the outcome. So when they don't show up, don't allow it until you know what really happened. Don't get yourself too emotionally attached. I am teaching you guys to help you deal with the reasons for no-shows. And I believe clearly that you are getting the value from this. We are using the statistics. We are using the statistics to help ourselves find solution to this challenge. Very good. All right, so take a screenshot. I'm done. Next one. Guide number 4, as I bring this meeting to a close. This is the biggest statistics. And this is where the biggest matter is. Ladies and gentlemen, 56% of the people that did not show up for business presentation, those prospects didn't show up. You know why? Because they were overwhelmed by internal events. Now I'm going to be helping you to see the biggest opportunity you have in this business when a no-show happens to you in your business. I'm wrapping this up in just about 5 minutes. What this means is that you should use the cause of their no-show as a selling point. You should be asking yourself, what can you do as a connector to help your prospect's life to become less overwhelming? Because the person didn't show up because there were certain challenges at his workplace that made him not to have chance to come for the event that he said he was going to come. The bit is so overwhelming because maybe he needs to take, he was trying to take care of his children. He was trying to do this and do that, and then as a result, the things happened that he didn't have enough opportunity to now show up. He was overwhelmed by certain internal events. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a selling point for you. You know why? Because if the person couldn't show up because of his children, it means that if he had a house help, if he had someone he was paying to take care of that particular challenge, ladies and gentlemen, that would not have been the case. He would have been able to show up for that meeting. So that is a selling point. If it is because of his work, he's telling you that, nah, and I'm busy, it's my shop, it's my business, so it's not giving me time. That is a selling point. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are getting angry because of that, you are missing the point. You are missing the point. They are giving you what to use and close them down, and that is what you are getting angry. No, now, come on. Turn the tables around, ladies and gentlemen, from tonight. Let your no-show, let the reason for the no-show be the selling point for you to close them down. Do you know what that means? That means that you need to understand that we are in the business of improving our prospects' life. You know it now. So if they are feeling so stressed and overwhelmed by these internal events happening in their life that they couldn't make it to our BOM, that is a great sign that they need to be part of our business. Hey, is somebody getting it? Turn the tables of no-show around in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. That is what I'm driving at tonight. That is what I need you to understand tonight. Turn the tables of no-shows around. Turn the tables of no-shows around and make it the reason for the next sign up. Make it the reason why that person has to join your business. Now, what this means is that the relationship owner should find out why those prospects didn't show up, but do it in a creative way. Finding out why they didn't show up means that you are asking in a very creative way. So what really happened? I hope all is well. But tell me, what really happened? Why couldn't you make it? What happened? They let you know what happened. Wow. When they let you know what happened, keep it down. Keep it down. You now know how to close them down when they see the opportunity. You know you have gotten their secret code. You have gotten their secret code. Even if it is strangers, as far as you do a follow-up call and they respond to you, and they are part of that 50% that responded to you, ladies and gentlemen, you can do the same thing now. If you ask them in a creative way, what really happened? What really happened that you couldn't show up? Was it your work? Give them tips so that they can open up. Was it your work or something? Was it work? They now tell you, yes, so it's my work or my business. They will now open up. You note that one down. And then you reschedule. We're coming to rescheduling now. Now, I hope you've taken a screenshot of the previous thing because I'm done with that. Now I'm going to be ending the meeting now, but I will end it with the last principle. I call it the realistic principle. The realistic principle. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the realistic principle. Pay attention. Your prospect time is valuable, but so is your own time. If they reschedule or are a no-show 3 or more times, have an honest conversation with them about whether it is worth either party's time. Meaning you keep rescheduling and they keep not showing up to 3 to 4 times. You need to have an honest conversation with them. Is somebody getting me tonight? What does that mean? What kind of conversation do you have? This is what you tell them. Hey, we've tried to reschedule this meeting 3 times now. Usually when this happens, it means this isn't a priority for you at the moment. It's fair for me to assume that this is the case for you right now. This isn't the... So get the person to tell you the honest truth, because you'll be rescheduling. You need to have an honest conversation. Now, what this thing does is that you will force an answer and a final move from the person. Your prospect will either tell you, oh, no, not at all, not at all. I've just had a really busy period. Now, this period has been very busy for me. Or the person will tell you, actually, this isn't a priority right now. It is probably best for us to shelve this for the moment. So the person will be honest with you. That's the honest conversation you need to have with your prospect. This is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Take a screenshot, because I am wrapping this up right now. I'm wrapping this up right now, ladies and gentlemen. So you need to have this honest conversation. This script, you can use this script for the honest conversation. You use this script for the honest conversation. Now, the last thing is the mindset principle. The mindset principle. So everything I have taught you is to help you to create a new mindset that will give you new results when it comes to no-shows in your business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to have been with you tonight. I'm super excited to have spent this 1.5 hours with you tonight. Thank you so much for being here. This is going to help you scale your business, scale your growth, and transform everything that has to do with invitation and no-shows in your business. Go through this training again and again. It will definitely be available on my YouTube channel, so you can share it with all the people that do booking calls in your team. I'll ensure it is made available on that channel so you can check it out, okay? Of course, if you are here and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, that means you just joined this business newly. You just joined this business newly, all right? So go to Solomon Vincent on YouTube and you'll be able to get every valuable content that you need to scale your business and grow massively. I can't give you everything here, but I'm very confident that you can get a lot of value from that channel. Engineer Casey, the Trailblazer. This is my time and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you, Trailblazer team. I'm happy to have spent this time with you guys. I'm so excited to have spent this time with you guys. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow. You know, I've been screaming, I've been shouting, I've been so excited. Please,